Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind you. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind you. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to a Wednesday edition of YSN Live. DJ Yoakley and Anthony Ronald Hartwig with you for this Champions edition of YSN Live, the final edition here in 2025 of Running Wednesdays with Coach Sipe. And of course, we, Ant, you went and got us a couple champions, a couple podium posers.
Yes, for sure. And they're from a program that has been doing it for a while. No shocker that we have more state championships from McDonald. The boys team won the state championship for the third time in their program history. And Drew Zajac, who we're going to have on, won the discus throw as well. It's just a great program. So we're going to have members from both sides. Juliana Krumpak would be with Drew as well. Just a great program that we can't wait to highlight. I think me and Sipe have been talking about them pretty much consistently all year about how good this McDonald track team is. So happy to have them on for the season finale of Running Wednesdays.
You might need to fix your microphone as well. It's sounding a little distant, so you might want to go into your settings so we can hear you a little better. But if you could not hear what Anthony was saying, we have some champions from McDonald with us. Lovebirds on location, by the way, from South Carolina.
Better?
Way better. Way better. Hey, way to go, Techie. Way to bring it back. And we have right now bringing in one of the greatest running analysts in the history of analyzing running. One of my dear friends, always, and a huge supporter of what we do, and we are always a fan of what he does. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Sipe joins us. What's up, Sipe?
Hey, nothing much, guys. What's happening today?
A little bit different background today, man. I like it.
Hey, from the homestead. What can you do?
A little cash. I like it. We're not going to hear any school bells today.
No school bells. And my kids are all swim practicing, getting ready for their first meet tonight. So I have the house to myself and a very, 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 very extensive track season's over. Here's the honey-do list. So I'll be busy on that the rest of the day until the swim meet tonight.
I get that.
All good stuff, though, guys.
You talked about the very long track season has come to a close, and you know, as someone who I think appreciates the local regional talent more than most, how do you think it went? Just, I mean, general question, loaded question, I guess, but for you, you know, compared to seasons past, how did it go for us?
We showed up. We one of the big conversations our staff had when we were down at the meet. I mean, win, lose, or draw, we always go down just to see the best of the best. And the resonating idea was our region in terms of Division 1, 2, and 3, and our kids locally, they really showed up at the track meet. We had a handful of state champions. Ethan Bosch from Chalker, he was the 100-meter state champion in D3. Drew was the state champ. And I'll tell you what, I showed up hot from the girls softball game, and we came off a loss there. So I mean, I drove from Akron to Columbus in silence, and I got there just in time to see the finals for the D3 boys discus, and that is how I started my state track meet this year. So watching Drew do what he did, it was absolutely incredible. So I mean, I could go on about that one, but it was absolutely incredible. That was a good way to start the weekend for me down there. And again, the local kids, we shelled out. We had a podium finish in every single division, and some of the best that Anthony and I have talked about the entire year. They got down there and they did their thing. So it was fun.
You know, you texted me about how Drew kind of got this accomplished and that what he kind of had to do to get this throw off. You were about 7 feet away from it. We'll ask Drew about it too, but can you describe it from your perspective on how he exactly pulled off this last state championship throw?
Well, after we interviewed those guys last year, I really liked what the McDonald throwers were cooking down there. So I've been following them exclusively. I mean, all the coaches from McDonald are great guys, great gals over there. So, I mean, it's fun just to watch what those guys are doing. And so it's a nice setting because you get to be right on top of the cage. And I sat down with the rest of my staff and our throwers that were down there, and we sat seriously 7 to 8 feet from the ring. And Drew was in third when the whole thing started, like the final started, and he went for it on his first throw, but he fouled. Second throw, I don't know if he got enough on it. He can tell you guys about that one, but it didn't go where it needed to go. And then his third throw, he spun as fast as I've seen a kid spin, and he just like screamed and let this thing fly. He let it go so fast and so hard that he was just hopping and hopping and hopping and hopping on one foot. I'm like, my jaw's wide open. I'm like, oh my God, please stick this, save this. He saves it, and he throws an absolute nuke at the same time. They're like I think it was 178, and that was enough to push him from third to first. Oh my gosh, I had like, even right now, the hair on my arms is standing up. I'm like so excited. And I don't.
Let's go!
I was so, well, again, you take pride in stuff. Like, it's not like rivals and stuff like that. It's an art. It's an underappreciated sport, to be honest with you. And to see somebody in that moment, how excited he got, how, like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, as a kid, you're out in the driveway shooting hoops. 3, 2, 1, Kobe, and he did it. That's his life. That's his life story forever now. Like, and he gets to do it again next year. He's only a junior, so I mean, good for him. That's amazing. Every coach, every kid, they all want that kind of stuff, and it happened. He lived it. It was amazing. It was like the pick me up I needed in that moment. I saw Coach Lou right after that. I gave him a hug and said, "Yo, dude, that was amazing." I mean, and you could tell just like in Dimitrovich's eyes, like, that was it. That was what he needed to. He was like tearing up. I mean, that's what it's about. You're passionate about the sport, and you captured something amazing, and that was it. He did it at the highest level as you possibly can be. And like I said, he gets to come back and do it again next year. So can't be more excited for those guys.
I don't know if we can roll out a better intro than that, but I think it's time we bring these two on because they are coming to us live from vacation in South Carolina. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, from McDonald, you may see him as Thor at this point, given the story of Coach Sipe. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of Blue Devils, a couple of Lovebirds, Juliana Crumpack and Drew Zajac. Welcome. Thank you so much for. Oh, look, and you get the wow, worthy. Drew, you're backstage and you're hearing that. I mean, we've got goosebumps. I wasn't even there, but the storytelling of Coach Sipe gets me all fired up. What was it like for you to be in that ring? Was that pretty much on par for what you were going through?
Well, it was a hard week before. I didn't really get in any throws that whole week until like Thursday. I was nursing a pretty bad back injury, and I still am. But, you know, just had to stay patient, had to stay focused, had to stay humble and hungry, and sure enough, it paid off. And I'm just super, super blessed to be number one in the state, but I just got to stay hungry.
you were down to your last throw, like Coach Sipe. It was throw number 3. You had to have it. Talk about what's going through your mind as you're trying to hop on one foot to secure that save and do whatever it takes to make sure that throw counts.
Well, going from, prelims and then finals, I was just like my body was just completely torn up from shot, and then the prelims a disc, and I was just like, talked to Coach Mary. I'm like, I know I can do it. And I had ice on my back. I'm like, I got to do this. And, first throw I had, it wasn't good enough. And then second throw, I pushed through the ring pretty hard and then tumbled at the front. And then third throw, I looked at it before I got in the ring, and I'm like, this is it. And I released it and did like a little ballerina and got out the back of the ring, and that's all that matters.
Little ballerina. I like that.
Drew, that was awesome. Drew, that was amazing. I was like, seriously, I was like right to the left of the ring. Like I could have reached out and grabbed you if I needed to prop you up there as you were going down. But I was like frozen in the moment. I'm like, please stick this. And you saved it, dude. That was amazing. I could tell when final started, you were just going for it. Cause I mean, I can't remember where the kid was from that was leading at the time, but that's out there. And I know you went for it in the first one. And then, like I said, that's a storybook ending. And again, it's your story for life now on like the situation, all that stuff. It was amazing. Couldn't be more happy for you, man. That was amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And then plus to top it all off, like third place, it's an accomplishment, but you also helped secure a state championship for your team as well. That foot doesn't come down. You don't get to the 31 that you guys had to win it. And I mean, everything, just like the alignment of like the stars in that case, was just one of those deals for McDonald to go down in history for the state now.
Yeah. Well, obviously the good Lord has blessed us with a lot of good athletes, and I'm just so blessed. And, a lot of prayers went into, the finals and everything. And this whole entire season, it's just been a dogfight for our team. And I'm just super blessed to be a tiny little part of the team that I'm a part of. And, I just couldn't be more happy for all my teammates and what they've accomplished, and just to be a tiny piece of it all.
And you guys had like a little cult following down there too. There had to have been 40 or 50 people watching that discus event for the McDonald Blue Devils there. That was amazing. Like, and the vibes of the state meet, you just can't beat, and you can't simulate it throughout the whole season. I mean, regionals are big, but there's absolutely nothing like going to Columbus and being in that venue, Jesse Owens Historic Stadium there, and just getting it done the way you guys did. It was awesome. I'm like all pumped up, and I'm like, you know what? Trumbull County people got to stick together. So there you go. I'm a McDonald fan for life. There you go.
Yeah, McDonald people, I guess, travel pretty well.
Absolutely.
Especially for track.
Yeah, you guys have had tradition ever since. I mean, I even remember back in the 90s when I was an athlete as well. I mean, McDonald always has had a great program. So, tip of the hat to you guys. You got it done.
Thank you.
Juliana, from your perspective, you are also on the podium a couple times, right? So talk to us about your experience and again, that McDonald following down in Columbus.
So 2 years ago, me and some of my teammates made it in the same events, the 4x8 and the 4x4, but we didn't leave a mark like we wanted to. So coming back this year was like really big for us, and we wanted to really show what we can do. So we were able to do that and made it on the podium, and it was a great feeling. So, yeah.
I mean, that's a heck of a double too. 4x4, 4x8. I mean, you got to come back on two of the three worst races in high school, taking out the 300 hurdles there. But I mean, that's a tough day. It's hard on your body, especially at that point in the season. You're tapered off. Everything's about speed and just competing at that point. So it's amazing to get a 4x8 and a 4x4 on the podium there. And again, you have to do it twice. The 4x4, you got to do it Friday and then come back on Saturday morning and do the same thing.
How much, I guess, a big question I have is when you get that far and you've been doing this all season long, how much is left in the tank and how much is just adrenaline taking over in those last moments? That question's for both of you.
I mean, from me at least, I think it takes over a lot. I think for my relay, especially like competing, like just as like a team and like competing against like the different athletes, like it helps so much. And just knowing like you're doing it for your coaches and for yourself and for each other is just like huge. So it just makes you want to keep going.
And, for me, last year at state, it was me and a couple of two other people of my friends. We made a promise to each other that we were going to do everything that we could possibly do for each other to stand on top of the podium as a team. And, when shot put didn't go my way, I just wanted to sneak in, maybe get 2 points, and then disc, I went back in our tent and I told some of my other teammates, I'm like, I got to win this for you guys. And sure enough, the good Lord blessed me with the first place, but, just not wanting to let them down, everyone's body hurts, it's just kind of like, if it's like bad weather, the bad weather's affecting everybody, not just yourself. So, you got to think of it like that and kind of have to humble yourself and do it for your teammates.
Juliana, it's a long track season, and we're talking about, everyone's body hurts at the end of this because it's such a grueling way. You got to go through districts, got to go through regionals just to get to this point. Talk about kind of as reflection, like how it was getting through this season and what it was like to kind of grind through the whole year and to put yourself in this position in the last week of it.
It truly was so much fun going through every meet and every workout, just knowing that you have like your teammates to bring you confidence when you need it and just always being there for you. It makes it just so much easier just having your team there. So I feel like for McDonald especially, like having a core group of kids who like really care about what they do and just are strong and passionate about it really helps get the job done and carries throughout all the year.
Yeah, and a lot of the big competition too in D3, you guys got to see early on because D3 distance running, mid distance running, it's kind of like Northeast Ohio Central for that case. So you got to see the Smithville kids in the regional meet.
Yeah.
So you get to go up again. You know what you're going to get into every year. So I mean, it's one of those deals where you have to plan for that specific team, just like a lot of schools probably plan for you guys. Like, what are we going to do to balance out the McDonald's throwing program? What are we going to do to balance out their distance program? I mean, it's just one of those things that if you're coaching the right way, I mean, you should be prepared for it. And again, you guys are. Yeah. When I know anytime I go to a meet and I see McDonald on the roster, I'm like, all right, what are we going to do to compete with them today? So I'm sure your staff does the same thing. I know a lot of the coaches over there, and I know they're very good at what they do. So I know you guys are always ready to go. And clearly, we have a state champion, a 7th place finisher for the 4x4, and a 3rd place finisher for the 4x8. So, I mean, you guys got it done this season. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Before we let you go, got to ask you, I mean, it's got to be pretty awesome to be like Stanley Cup champions, essentially, and you finish on the podium, 1st, 3rd, 7th place, and then you go on vacation. I mean, what's the to-do list on vacation? Is it, just relax and enjoy the sun, or you got things that are on the agenda for you from, we're going to go eat this or what's out there for you as juniors going to be seniors, Drew?
As long as you don't say states, I'm fine.
Congratulations on states, by the way.
I'm a big boogie boarder. I like the boogie board, and I like the body surf. So I think that's kind of like my thing. And obviously, let my hair get more blonde, as I think it is getting by the sun.
Congratulations on all your success in that, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've just been relaxing at the beach and just hanging around all of our friends who are here. So it's a lot of fun.
Has it settled in? I mean, has it settled in that you're going into your final year and what things you want to accomplish that obviously, Drew, you're at the top of the mountain right now. And is there more pressure for you to get on that podium in shot, or is there more pressure to stay on the podium at the top of the mountain in discus?
I know I feel like it's something I've always had to deal with ever since I was young. My parents always told me there's always going to be a target on your back, and just you always have to stay hungry. And what's nice about McDonald is that people give back. McDonald great from like 2011. He called me the other day on vacation. He was like, it's great that you won, but you have to stay hungry, and because there's going to be an even bigger target on your back than what you've ever had. So I just think I have to, hit the weights even harder, hit the technique even harder, and just just do the same exact thing, but even harder.
When we talk to runners all season, we ask them what it's like at the end of the season to kind of finally not have to be so disciplined all the time anymore. What's one thing that you guys are doing that you can let your hair down finally because it's the end of the season? And is it a meal? Is it napping more? What's something that you're doing this week that you maybe weren't able to do for the last couple of months that you're really happy that, I can take a breath?
I'm going to say just like finally being on like summer vacation and like not having to go to practice every day. Well, for like 2 weeks until cross country starts. But like taking this 2 weeks off and just actually like enjoying it until we have to get back at it.
Yeah, and again, you got to let your body come back a little bit. Drew's has his back going. I'm sure you're beat up too from doing the mid-distance stuff. I know how grueling that is. So enjoy, be a kid, enjoy the sand, enjoy the sun. I mean,
yeah,
you're not going to get that stuff in Ohio. I think it's supposed to rain.
Craig Beach
I'm like sitting here thinking, I'm like, man, I wish I was at the beach too.
I'm just trying to get those long blonde locks like Drew. Let them fly. Guys, thank you so much for being a part today, taking time out of your well-deserved vacations. Best to you, best to your families, and enjoy the rest of the R&R that you guys so much deserve. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks,
you
guys.
got it. Enjoy.
Congrats.
We'll see you. Unbelievable. I mean, firstly, Drew has done about 1 billion of these interviews for us, and we're so grateful. He's been fun to watch grow since his freshman year, and I think both of them, both Juliana and Drew, have a lot left to give their senior years, which I'm sure they're excited for. But I mean, Sipe, you see it all the time as a teacher, as a coach. There's a lot of pressure going into your senior season because there's a lot of different navigations that you can go, I guess, past it. Put yourself in their shoes. You're on the podium the end of your junior year, you're staring down the face of summer vacation. You leave it all. I mean, you described that. I had chills when you were describing that discus final. I mean, are you thinking to yourself, are you in your mind, or you're like, okay, if I do this, I can really enjoy summer vacation. I can really come through for my team, stand on the top of that podium. And when it happens, put yourself in his shoes. Is there just a giant exhale, or is it like, okay, the adrenaline's still going? Well,
from a coaching standpoint, years ago, I coached a girl named Reagan Berkey, and we had to battle to get her on the podium there for the 800 and D1. She ended up being 6th, and I was more relieved that it happened than happy in that moment. I mean, it's one of those kids that it's an all-timer, a Boardman. I work with both of her parents very closely, so it's like a daughter that I don't exactly have, and it's more those like so relieved to see that worked out for the kid. All those moments were good for them, and it went down that way. And like track in Ohio is actually going to be shifting here too. In a few weeks or maybe in a month, the OHSAA is going to announce that we're going from 3 divisions to 5. So the landscape of the sport is going to change drastically in the state here too. So
I was 7. I mean, everything's set, and I'm being dead serious. Like we've had this conversation a couple of times. Like, why don't we just do everything in 7s instead of 3 or 5?
I think participation numbers is the reason for that, and shortage of officials. I mean, we are losing officials every year, and if you've actually gone to some of these meets, they are closer to the retirement age than they are to younger guys like we are. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's resource availability, venues that can handle it in the proper way, schools that are willing to host if they do have the venue. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables that come into play. I think 5 might even be an overkill a little bit, but yeah, I absolutely 4, if done the right way, I think would be totally fine. But I mean, I don't know. Like I heard a quote from Tressel like about a month or 2 ago, and he said, if it's not broke, you should break it. Like track in Ohio, it makes sense if you think about it. Because I mean, eventually what you're doing is gonna get stale, is what I think he was saying there. You know what I mean? Like you always have to readjust, you have to reflect. Even Drew, you heard him. he's a state champion. He could just sit back and lay in the lounge chair the rest of the summer. But no, he was talking about making sure his technique was better, making sure his lifting was better, doing the little things that matter. That's what champions have to do, because once you're really good, it is extremely hard to get better. Like, I'm beating the drum with a couple of my athletes that are pretty darn good right now. I'm like, listen, sleep matters. What you're eating, it really matters. How much you lift. Because if you're playing soccer, everybody's doing skill drills. If you're playing volleyball, everybody's doing skill drills. Are you doing the weight room stuff? Are you doing the film study? I mean, there's a lot that goes into sports rather than just what people see when you're out there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm anxious to see what these divisions look like once they make the announcement. I'm not, as a former cross country coach right now, I'm not very satisfied with the way they handled the cross country divisions, but I mean, it is what it is, and you still get to get out there and compete. So that's what you should focus on in those cases.
So we had so much success at state this year as well. I mean, we're talking to Drew and Juliana. We're going to talk to Ava Hewlett in a little bit, who also, got on the podium. But can we recap a little bit on some of the really big performances that we had in Columbus and some of the great runners that also got on the podium and got big finishes?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, locally, the Chalker boy, the Ethan Bosch, was the champion in the 100-meter dash there. Andrew Donaldson from Maplewood, the state runner-up in the 800, 154. That's flying. Carson Clace from McDonald did a man double, basically. He did the mile in 4:11, which is an insanely fast time, and then came back and ran the 800 and got 5th place in that. It was hot. It was sticky. It was humid. For Carson to go 2nd and 5th place, again, another Herculean event for the McDonald Blue Devils to help them get that state championship. Joey Capizzello from McDonald was 8th place in the 3,200. Don Papagallo from Mineral Ridge was 4th in the 3,200. Pazel from Lowville was 8th place in the 400. And Drew, as we all know, blew his hamstring out there in the regional. I'm really upset. However, he gets to come back and do it again next year. The Springfield boys 4x4 was some state runner-up. McDonald men's 4x8 was 2nd. Maplewoods was 3rd. Drew was the state champion in the district discus, and then John Culp from Mineral Ridge was 6th place in the shot put in the D3 boys. D3 girls, Layla Hayes from LeBray, 6th place in the 200. Naomi Sheasley from McDonald was 3rd in the 1600 and then 6th in the 800. Again, that is a very difficult double. Not only did she do those two events, but she ran the 4x8 the night before, and she ran the 4x4 in the final as well. So again, Naomi, she put it all out there, scored a lot of points for their team. Rebecca Geist came back from injury, ended up in 5th place from Heartland Christian in the 3,200. Kylie Molnar from Mineral Ridge, we had her on right before during the postseason there. She was 8th place in the 3,200 as a freshman. Ava Hewlett had a couple of bronze medals in the high hurdles and the intermediate hurdles. Sammy Ratuno for Mooney was 2nd in the 300 hurdles. Mooney's girls 4x1 was 3rd. We already talked about the McDonald teams. Sloan from Southern was 6th place in long jump, and she jumped 17 feet to get 6th place. I mean, again, that's a nuke in itself. So tip of the hat to the D3 girls long jump competition. Gabby Spooner from South Range was 7th in the long jump. Only a half inch behind Sloan from Southern. And then Shiley and Bundy were 4th and 3rd place in the shot and discus. So D3, most representation from the area was D3 because that's what most of the schools in the area are. D2, let's see here. We had Maggie Hall from Salem, 6th place in the mile. Julia Wheeler, Southeast, was 5th place in the 3,200. Maddie Gorby from Salem, 6th place in the high jump. And then Emily Meckenbauer from Perry, freshman, shot put champion from Perry. So that's amazing. D2 boys, Josiah Hunter from Girard was 4th in the 100. Emmett Schlebach from South Range was 3rd in the 1600. And that was a phenomenal race as well. I mean, it was just like a pack of bees going around the track for a handful of laps there, and then they just opened it up. He ran a 4:12. Again, 4:12 to get 3rd place. That's That's an elite. That's an electric mile going on there. Maddox Roach from East Liverpool was also in that race. And listen to this too. Emmett ran 4:12 for third place. Maddox ran 4:13 for seventh place. So think about how tight that one was to finish up there. Brandon Gent from Orange, third place, 3,200. Nashawn Kalins from Orange was second in the high hurdles, fourth in the 300 hurdles. Ursuline's 4x1 men's team was eighth place. East Liverpool, third place in the 4x8. And then Landon Wheatley from Beaver Local, sixth place in the high jump. And Traxton Richards, state runner-up in the pole vault.
What a name.
Yeah, Traxton. Yes, I think they're brothers too. His brother was up there with him as well. And then in D1, there's only a handful of local D1 teams. Sarah Barrow, Bourbon, shot put third place on her last throw. So, and that one too, she was third place at 41:10.5. Second place was 41:11, and eighth place was 41:6 or something like that. So second to eighth place was separated by less than 5 inches. So again, an outstanding competition there. The Ohio State's new track, it shelled out, man. That was electric. There were state records going down left and right. I saw a girl from Hilliard Davidson run 2:04 in the 800. Her first lap was a 58. For reference, she ran 2 laps. Most schools do not even have 400 records that are 58 seconds. So she ran her first of 2 laps faster than your school record. So for a 2:04, and that was like an absolute insane mark. If we see that get broken in our lifetimes, track is that much better in the area or in the state. There were some crazy things that happened. A girl from Toledo Central Catholic became the 18th Triple Crown winner in state history. Mm-hmm. She won the 100, the 200, and the 400. What else went down that was pretty crazy? A Coldwater girl. She came within a tenth of a second of Abby Steiner's 200-meter state record. And again, Abby Steiner's like a national champion at the collegiate level, professional for Puma right now. So a girl from Coldwater, which, again, if you don't know much about Coldwater, it's just like a dot in the map on Western Ohio out there. But they produce some crazy athletes from that area. So, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. The state meet never disappoints. Attendance was way up. The track was electric. I mean, and again, they put a lot of money into that facility, and from the marks that we saw down there, I mean, they did not disappoint in any way, shape, or form.
So before we get to Ava's interview here, just a quick question, because I'm having a hard time understanding why we don't see as many student athletes going to the next level for track and field or cross country for that matter. I mean, you see baseball, you see softball, you see football, you see basketball, but it not oftentimes. I want to say that it's kind of pushed to the side. Is that because the ultimate goal is the Olympics and it's just so hard to get there, or what do you think that the trouble is getting to that next level?
Well, it's there. I mean, if you want to go there, you can go find schools that will take you as a collegiate athlete. I mean, every year I end up getting like letters sent to Boardman to recruit our girls, and I have to look up where the schools are from. It's resource availability. So if like we're thinking like, oh, you know, I have a scholarship to play football for Ohio State. Okay. Almost every single guy on that roster has a scholarship. Whereas if you're looking at collegiate track, they may have, well, until they changed the rules recently to give them more scholarships. But leading up to that, you would get hey, I ran 58 seconds in the 400, and they would say, okay, well, here's $2,000 to come to school here, because they only had like 5 to 8 scholarships. And the way they did that was they would divide them up and they would pass them out to kids like that. We also take in a lot of international athletes to the United States for track and field, especially in like multi events and stuff like that. Like some of the state, Ohio, we do not offer triple jump. I mean, we have it, but they don't contest it at the OHSA tournaments. Javelin, weight throw. I mean, there are events that we don't even contest that are big in other states. So you might get overlooked because of stuff like that. And then some of our kids, Taylor Ewert, for example, she was a runaway state champion in girls distance from Beaver Creek, Ohio. She went on to run at Arkansas, and she became a race walker there. So, I mean, like, one of the best distance runners the state's ever produced went somewhere else to do an event that not necessarily running, but race walking. So, I mean,
Race
like,
walking.
resource availability, I mean, have you ever seen it live?
No, I do it on a daily basis around East Palestine.
No, there's no way. You have no idea. There's like you if I find one of these videos, I'll send it out to you. But like guys running good 5K runners going up to bat against race walkers, and the race walkers absolutely dust them. So it's like insane how fast they're walking. Okay, but I'll have to find one of those videos for you and send it out your way, because it's something to see, man. Watching these people get out.
I'll cook them. They've never been in East
Palestine.
Come on, baby. There was some hills going up to that park.
And you know, too, it's highly competitive at the collegiate levels as well. I mean, and some people don't want to fit that into their lifestyles once they get to that level. Some of the best distance runners I've seen in the state, they won their state championship and then they hung it up after their senior years too. So there's a lot of variables in it. And again, there's those college coaches, that's their livelihood. So if you get there and you have plateaued, they find ways to get you replaced in those cases as well. They're only investing $1,000 to $2,000 in you a year. I mean, you're an expendable asset in that case right there. It's totally different. College is a job in comparison. So, but they have expanded rosters and they have made more money available for these athletes, but that takes away from walk-on spots too now. So it's going to change the landscape a little bit. So we shall see.
Well, when you're talking about changing the landscape, this next guest has done so much to change the landscape of Mineral Ridge in seemingly every sport humanly possible. But lastly and lately, she is one of the best hurdlers and just overall athletes that the Rams programs has ever seen. She constantly, even walking around the mall and stores, looks for things to hurdle. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we bring in Ava Hewlett. Hi, Ava.
Hi.
Well, the last time we talked, you were talking about hurdling over things. Naturally, they gave you some things to hurdle over this year and on a good track season and field season for the Lady Rams. Talk to us about how it went for you, how you felt it transpired.
Yeah, it was a really good season overall. I bonded with my teammates, which was always fun, and then we actually got a lot of people down the state this year, so it made it even more enjoyable and not being by myself.
Ava, you were working on track even before basketball season really ended. I mean, you were so geared up for this season. Can you kind of compare to how it ended compared to your expectations and how you kind of met your goals and how many goals you met and what kind of things, how do you take away this season as far as what you wanted to accomplish?
Yeah, I had a big PR from last year. I have our school record in the 100-meter hurdles, so that's a goal that I wanted. And I improved a lot from the indoor state meet to the outdoor state meet, so it was a really good season.
Which venue did you end up liking better, Columbus or Dayton?
Columbus, for sure.
Yeah, it's tough to beat. It's tough to beat Jesse Owens Stadium. And
yeah,
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Ava, for you, I mean, leaving a legacy at Mineral Ridge is something I know is very important to you. What do you feel is the legacy that you've left to this point? And do you feel like you've accomplished everything you possibly could?
Yeah, I do. I feel fulfilled that I'm leaving Ridge the way I did. I know a lot of younger athletes look up to me now and they respect me, and I've taught some of the younger athletes a lot of things that I hope that they can carry into their future seasons now that they're going to have to take over and lead the way. But overall, I think it was a good 4 years.
We talk about leaving legacy. We've talked about your legacy after the volleyball season. We talked about your legacy after the basketball season. But you said it yourself. This track program took a big step. You weren't alone at States anymore. You took a lot of people with you this time around. There's a lot of reasons to be excited for this Middle Ridge track program's future. How proud are you that you're able to kind of see that growth before you graduate and know that when you leave, like this track program especially, is in really good hands?
I'm very proud. I've known some of those girls, like the freshmen. I used to dance with them long time ago. So just knowing that like they made it to the state and just being able to next year watch in the stands and see what they do the next 3 years, it'll be really cool.
We saw Drew and Juliana celebrate earlier by going down to the beach. How did you celebrate the end of your season?
Well, we stayed the day like of the Saturday. I went shopping, so my mom bought me some new outfits.
Naturally.
So.
Naturally. Couldn't have guessed that one. Sorry, Sipe.
No, all good. So like you have some standout freshmen coming back too. What's your best advice you have for them as they're embarking on the same kind of track career that you developed there?
Yeah, just to work hard and not burn yourself out. I know freshman year, like I was doing a lot and I ended up like breaking my foot. So just like make sure you're doing enough to recover and like getting the work in that you want to have for off season, but also not pushing your body too much because sometimes rest is more.
Absolutely.
Ava, one of the things that I don't think we've talked about is burnout and mental fatigue, and you being a constant athlete and student athlete, keeping your grades up in the classroom and keeping it, I mean, well above the line of average in whatever floor surface you're on. How did you battle it? Did you have moments during your 4 years that you battled fatigue or battled burnout, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, it definitely is a step back, like when you hit that like mental block or just like you're physically burnt out, but you just have to take your time, catch up on your rest. I know I like had trouble going to bed at an early time, so that was something that I always struggled with. But in the summer, especially too, getting rest, but also making sure that you're going to your summer scrimmages for basketball, playing volleyball, and working out for track. So it is a lot, but as long as you like have a plan and keep organized, that you should be good.
Well, for the first time in your career, you don't have to go to those open gyms for basketball.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to volleyball practice this week. What's that like for you to kind of have a little bit of more of a freed up summer a little bit?
It's a little weird. Some of my friends are like going to their basketball scrimmages. I'm just like kind of sad that that's not me, but also like it's relieving to not have to like worry about practice for once. But I'm taking a few weeks off and then I'm gonna start doing my workouts for college. So that'll keep me something to do, but it's kind of nice not having to worry about any practices.
So what is the plan for you for next year?
I'm gonna run track and field at Wright State University. So,
D1, let's go.
yeah.
Naturally, when I asked the question of why we don't have more kids going to the next level, here comes Ava Hewlett saying, "Hey, I'm running. Here's my hand. How about me?" That's a dumb question, DJ. How about that?
In all seriousness, Ava, talk about that decision and what it took to kind of get to Wright State. I know the last time we talked to you, it was still up in the air on what you wanted to do, and you really weren't settled on a sport yet, but you obviously picked running at Wright State as your destination. What led to that decision, and what made Wright State feel like home?
Yeah, well, up until I would say end of sophomore year, I was for sure that I wanted to play volleyball in college. And then that kind of changed. I always like loved track, but I really started to like want to get like a lot better in it. And then this like past season, my volleyball coach still wanted me to kind of play out in college. So I was still unsure a little bit, but deep down I kind of knew I wanted to run track. And I also wanted to go far away, well, far enough away. I didn't want to be close to home. So Wright State, the coach reached out to me and I went there and I visited and I really liked the school. It was in a nice area. It's around a lot of things and I'll be able to travel to nice schools and compete and I'm excited.
that's one of the big things. Do they travel well? And like, of course, do they have the major for you and all those things? But that's
Yeah.
great that you found a fit there at the next level. Wright State's got a nice program. I'm looking forward to seeing you do some good things there for sure.
Thank you.
Ava, we can't thank you enough for what you've been able to really inspire young ladies with over the years. You have certainly left a legacy, as we alluded to earlier. For you, was there any stone at Mineral Ridge left unturned that you really wanted to do that you haven't done that maybe we can help you with in your final weeks as a Ram?
I don't know. There is a few things that I fell up a little short on, but at the end of the day, I worked at my hardest and I tried my best and I accomplished a lot, and I'm forever grateful for everything. So,
I think that's a good segue. Yesterday, me and DJ had this long conversation about how if you're not a champion, you didn't fail necessarily. And obviously, you have the goal of you wanting to win state. That was the goal going down there. You finished third in the 100, third in the 300. How did you kind of compensate with, okay, I fell a little bit short, but I'm also, like you just said, you accomplished so much, and by no means was your career at all or your season at all a failure. How did you kind of grapple with that mentally, coming off of that state meet?
yeah, I PR'd in the 300 hurdles. I kind of stuttered on the last hurdle, and I think that took my second place away. But I mean, it was a good race, and I had good competition there, and it was just like overall the support from the community, everyone that came down to support me. I had family fly in to come watch me run, and I was just really trying to be focused at the state meet, but also enjoying and being present in the moment because it was my last one. So
That's a good attitude to have. You made it there. You did something that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other kids could not do. Only 2 kids in D3 were able to beat you. I mean, it's an accomplishment in itself. I mean, absolutely great attitude to have about it. I mean, it's one of those things where, if you can't get gold, you got to get silver. You can't get silver, that bronze still fits pretty nicely there. So again, it's totally different than team sports because again, you can still have those big time accomplishments, even though you didn't get first or whatever. It's still an accomplishment to get on that podium. You still get the picture. You're on the podium picture in the program the next year. People get to see you. I mean, it's a big deal. And again, not many people get to do what you did. You ran extremely fast, and again, you're continuing your career at Wright State. So nothing at all to hang your head over.
thank you.
Ava, we can't thank you enough for what you've done over the years and who you've become and what you've kind of laid out for everybody at Mineral Ridge. You are the gold standard. No matter what place you're on the podium, you're number one in our books here at YSN. Thank you so much for everything that you've done, how you've contributed to sports in our area. And we wish you all the best in the future. We certainly will be following you every step of the way. Congratulations, kiddo.
Thank you so much. I appreciate everything, all you've done for me for the past 4 years. You supported me a lot and gave me a lot of honors. So thank you so much.
You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mineral Ridge and now headed to Wright State, Ava Hewlett. Congratulations, Ava. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
You got it. There she goes. Man, that's tough because I mean, you and I talked about it yesterday with, some of these kids. It's the last time, potentially we interview them. And she's certainly, Ava, one that we've rooted for a long time. And I'm not there yet because my kids are 7 and 3, but I have to imagine it's kind of like when your kids leave for school and you're like, okay, like, they're there, they're in good hands, but you also know, like, it's never going to be the same. Like the next time we talk to Ava, she's like Mineral Ridge is part of her past as opposed to what she's, trying to develop as part of her present and future. So Sipe, I mean, you go through this every year with seniors.
Yeah.
Is this natural? I feel like I'm like getting emotional over these kids.
It's different every year because different classes have different personalities. There's I've coached kids that probably took time off of my life and I was like, oh, well, that was your last race. No, all jokes aside, but I mean, there's kids that are very challenging to coach. And then there's kids that you just love them to death and you never want to see them go. Like a totally raw personal story. Two of my like all-timers were on our 4x4 this year. And we were at the regional semifinals. And I was emotional as the gun was going off. I was just, this is it. This could be the last time I see these two run. This is the last time I'm going to coach them. This is the last time I get to compete. And our freshman leg, Mia Dubel, just burned it. She kept us in the race. Olivia Brady was our sophomore second leg, and she put us all the way into the race. And then my two seniors, Abby Mihawk and Gina DiNapoli, they took it home, and they got another day of free track at the regional final the next day. So, like, that emotional moment, that was it for me. Like, I was teared up, ready to roll, but I didn't want to see them end like that. And they didn't. And we got the run on Friday, and everything was fantastic. That's the way I wanted to see them going out, being on the regional podium, not going down in a regional semifinal or anything like that. So, it's tough to see kids go, but you also, as a coach, as a teacher or an administrator, you play a pivotal role in these kids' lives. You're not just creating a 400 runner, you're making a solid young man or a solid young woman, and you had something to do with making those kids like positive contributors to society. And I'm really happy that I get to have the opportunity to do that for so many kids as a teacher and a coach. So it's just how you got to look at it. Like, there's kids are going to do some great stuff for society after they leave. So yeah, Mineral Ridge is her pass, but it sounds like she's going to do some great things over at Wright State. And all the kids from Boardman, they do wonderful things. They head off to college, and I always like getting those updates from them whenever we get the opportunity to. So it's always good.
Hat tips to all those coaches out there who are doing it the right way. We're appreciative. Certainly, Sipe, you, my friend, are one that always does it the right way. One that we are so blessed to have each and every Wednesday. And without you, my friend, our track coverage is little to none, as well as cross country. People don't realize how big of a piece you are here at YSN. Mm-hmm. We cannot thank you enough. The check that we write cannot be big enough to you, my friend. So on behalf of all of us at YSN, everybody that tunes in on Wednesdays, man, thank you a million times over. I know I don't get to spend as much time with you as I want, but it's a joy to watch you each and every Wednesday, and an honor that you take my seat on this show. So thank you.
No, I appreciate it, man. And then it's for kids. We're in the business of kids, and like all these kids, they deserve their time in the sun. Just like, it's not mainstream, like, your football, basketball, your diamond sports. But these kids are every bit as impressive as any of those other kids are as well. If you look back to like Olympic coverage, track and field is one of the top 3 every summer Olympics for coverage. Swimming, gymnastics, track, gold medal basketball game, gold medal soccer game. Those are the 5 highest covered events for Olympics. So these kids deserve it. They work their tails off. I know how the best of the best coaches beat these kids up. So it's a very big deal that they get their time out there.
From a list of champions to the honeydew list, ladies and gentlemen, we close the book on 2025's coverage of track and field with head coach Rick Seipert. Sipe, thank you very much.
You're very welcome, guys. Have a good off season, and I'm sure I'll see you guys during football plenty.
You know better that there is no off season. There is no off season. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Seipert, one of my favorites. What a contributor all year long, and some stuff he doesn't have to do. Mm-hmm. Doesn't take it. I'm sure he'll take a dime, but doesn't take a dime as it is right now. He'll probably get some YSN gear. We're working on that to make sure he's all geared up in red, white, and blue of America's favorite colors of YSN. So
yes,
hey, kudos to you, Ant. By the way, really digging in this year. I think better than ever. Our track and field coverage this year. how about these athletes popping on every week? And from
Love it.
South Carolina,
I'm taking time out of their vacation. That's big. Like I told, like, when they said that we're on vacation, I said, hey, if you want to record something next week when you're back home, that's fine. We can record you, get you interviewed. No, we'll take time. We'll do it right now. And I said, awesome. So how many kids are going to do that? To help us out, take time out of their vacation. It's awesome.
well, Drew Zajac knows where he ranks in YSN lore, and Juliana Krumpak, who they're dating, in case you didn't figure that out, and they've been dating for a while. They're two awesome kids, two awesome families, and listen, we all know that Juliana runs the roost when it comes to
Yes.
Hey, Drew, we're doing this. Like she's the booking agent for Drew Zajac. So thank you to those two for taking some time out. What a senior year that could potentially be.
Oh.
I mean, when you look at those two, what they do at McDonald, Drew already getting ready for football. Like he mentioned to us, off the air before we got started with the show today, already thinking my stomach's hurting right now thinking about football. Like we've got football in about I don't even know what it's
1
the
week,
11th.
right?
We got 8
Penn,
days.
Ohio.
8 days, Penn,
Yeah.
Ohio. Next Thursday. I love
Yes.
it. Don't get me wrong.
It's funny, like
Every
right
year.
after our show yesterday, Sam Torres put up a Facebook post about it being. I was like, Sam, good kid.
He does that partly because he loves football, but I'm gonna guess about 88% of that is to piss off yours truly. Like just absolutely pee in the Cheerios right there. But that's Sam. That's why we love him. That's why we love him. But every year he's like, oh yeah, I'm not ready for football. I'm ready for basketball. I'm ready for baseball. And then at least I've got him. And then he gets real amped up for football. Like real amped up for football. People don't realize how big of a monster football is. Just an absolute monster. Like,
It's a 10-week machine, and every week we have, I think like pretty much every game that's played for the YSN family we have on the network. We don't miss a lot for football. So, not to mention that we have the audible call as well with Mike Ackelson. So, there's a lot that goes into. Yeah, it's once a week, but it's a monster night, and it's a late night, and it's a lot of stuff. Like you said, it's a monster.
I'm just going to go out and tell you that this year's probably going to be leveled up. Without getting into a lot of details, this year's going to be leveled up with our fall coverage. It's going to look a little different. We did all these shows at one point. We're still going to have some of them, but some of them will just be in one show on Thursday nights. It's going to be Thursday night. We haven't figured out the name of it. Probably going to be YSN Countdown to Kickoff. Just put it out there. But Thursday night countdown's been, Friday night. I don't know what the actual name of it's going to be, but we're going to have a college game day type show on YSN Thursday nights, live on location from different schools. We tried it out a few years ago, if you remember correctly. People loved it. I love it. Being able to be in front of these student athletes, in front of these coaches, in front of these fans. So I guess now's a good time to even throw it out there. If you would like us to be at your school on a Thursday night, we need you to bring it. We need you to put your hand up in the air, wave it like you just don't care. And we want the band there. We want signs. We want atmosphere. There's going to be a contest every week brought to you by a brand new shiny advertiser who is really excited about this. So very similar to what you see on Saturday mornings and kicking field goals. We're going to be throwing footballs through, I don't know, something square, rectangular. Target. And it's a Nerf ball because we can't go through those targets. That'll be, we'll lose money. But hey, I'm excited for it. Either way, I'm very excited for it. And I think it's going to be something the Valley and this whole region can get behind because, listen, I will make it to Ashtabula County. I promise you that. I'll be up in Ashtabula County once or twice. We're going to make our way over to Pepper Pike Orange. Will we go to Archbishop Hoban over in Akron? Will we?
Ooh, yes, the castle.
Will we end up in the castle? Will they let me suit up in that armor? How sweet would that be? You just see me.
Ka-ching, ka-ching. My liege.
My liege. But tell us where you want us to end up. I mean, I know that first Thursday is going to be hopping because it is the first Thursday actually it might be an 11-week series because we're going to have to do a preview show, and then the first week we're in Mineral Ridge. I can tell you that 100% because we're going to be there all day. All day. We're going to do the show from there here, and then we're going to continue there hours later because Pymatuning Valley is visiting Mineral Ridge on that Thursday night, week 1.
It shouldn't shock a lot of people. There's a pretty good friend of the show that is the new head coach of Mineral Ridge, I think. You know,
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah. I mean, he moved the freaking game from Friday to Thursday just so I could go announce it. And he goes, hey, if I move all the games from Friday, yep, I'll be there.
I'll be there.
So if you get a call from a random Mineral Ridge number asking you to move your games from Friday to Thursday, that's probably a lot to do with yours truly, and I apologize. But no, this show's going to be fantastic. We're excited. We had oh boy, Hakamania will be running wild. There's no doubt. I've already asked him to come out in his Macho Man getup.
Please.
Two absolutely rabid fan bases to start the year. Yeah, Sam. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. And hey, I don't want to intimidate anybody, but the word on the street is Mineral Ridge numbers were just shy of 80 the other day in practice.
There's excitement for Mineral Ridge football.
There are people that are chomping at the bit. Hang on. Tap dance.
Oh man! Now see, we don't get to see behind the curtain. Is he grabbing something? Oh man, he's got the helmet.
There are people chomping at the bit to wear this Ram helmet. Now, how I get my ears in, I don't know. I can't do it, but they are ready. Let's get this out. He's got one in me. He's got one in me. Blue 88! Blue 88! Is that hot? Hot! Hot! Hot!
We got to get him the wristband. We got to give him the wristband so we can check the play, line of scrimmage, you know.
Omaha! Omaha! Blue 80 hot! I'm ready to go. Coach Hake, I got one more year. Let's go.
One more year of eligibility. One more year. Put in the comments where DJ would best fit on the football field. What position you want DJ to play?
I was ready. And that was pretty good. Aaron Rodgers should be taking notes.
You've been dying for that moment. You've been waiting for that moment your whole life.
Blue 80! Blue 80 hike!
But, you know, instead of hike at Middle Ridge, they just say hake, right? That's their hake.
Oh.
Hake.
Sam's a lockdown corner?
No,
I can't see over the offensive line.
I asked the chat what position they think you would be. So Sam's thinking that you would be a lockdown corner.
I can't see over the offensive line, but I'll Russell Wilson the hell out of that football, dude. Roll out. I'm all excited. I saw Aaron Rodgers throwing the football in a Steelers uniform yesterday, buddy.
What is he gonna? No, 12's retired, so he can't be 12, can he?
12's not retired officially. It's just
Oh,
it's hasn't been reissued.
okay.
is Aaron Rodgers' number.
Okay, so he's bringing up Tommy Maddox.
Oh, well, there's another 8 there that didn't last long in Pittsburgh.
I'm trying
He
to.
had small hands.
He's
He's now in Cleveland. He was in Philadelphia for a minute. Super Bowl champion quarterback, I guess, technically. His name was Kenny Pickett. Then they gave it to the punter. That's how much they valued that number. They're like, here you go. And then Aaron Rodgers came in, and that punter had to change his number. So congratulations. Yeah,
He's our problem.
exactly, Sam. He is your problem now. Everybody was pointing. Oh, yeah, nobody wants Aaron Rodgers. Nobody wants Aaron Rodgers. I'll bet you they do. 4-time MVP. Just saying. Just saying, Ant. And then we got Will Howard on the come up too. So we don't care about Mason Rudolph. Sorry, Mason. It's like you can grow a mustache all you want. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But we're not here to talk about Steelers. We're here to talk about region. Well, let's face it. Where's Scotty, by the way? He sent me a thing saying this is what we're talking about today.
right.
Where is he? That Mincher kid. Did you invite him?
Yeah.
Where is Scotty Mincher? We're gonna have to send a search party out to the Mincher residence. See where Scotty Mincher is. This is crazy. Absolutely nutrageous. He's got 30 seconds.
He's got 30 seconds. Just like the pizza dude. Pizza dude's got 30 seconds.
Will
Hard.
Hard. Okay.
Hard.
It's Will Hard. Like Iron City. Hard. Will Hard. Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't.
Scotty doesn't know.
No.
Don't tell Scotty.
Gotta be careful with those lyrics. Can't
Yeah.
continue that song on the air.
No. Well, we can. We live in the Wild West that is called the internet.
I'm gonna have
Scotty,
that
we're
melody
just-
stuck in my head.
TikTok. Mincher. TikTok.
Let me text him real quick. I'll get him on.
No, we're getting out of here. We're leaving.
Oh, okay. We're getting out of here. Never mind.
If he's not on by 1 p.m., we are packing it up. Daddy's got a meeting at 2:00 with some pretty important people.
Ooh.
Pretty important
Little
people.
teaser there. That's what we call in the business, a big teaser.
Yeah. If this happens, I think everybody from the river to the lake needs to look out. This could be big. This could be, our kids could be on a whole new stratosphere. But hey, certain people in administrative roles don't necessarily see it that way all the time. So we'll see. We'll see how much more power and how big of a hammer we can swing here moving forward by the end of the summer. Starting to feel like Thor a little bit. Thor's hammer. And with Superman coming out in exactly 1 month, feeling like the streaming Superman once again, Anthony. And we don't have much in the way of kryptonite. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's give her a thanks because Mincher doesn't show up. Maybe he got, I don't know if he blew a tire or what.
Hey, it's happened. It happened to me during the audible call, just sitting there, tired as.
That's true. Yeah, you were down
rough.
PSI
Yeah.
right here. I thought you were gonna have a pit crew in there.
Oh.
All right. That is going to do it for the majority of our show today. We leave one piece of vital information at the end of our show. We call it the Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and you can visit them on the web 24/7, 365 at DickeyElectric.com. Oh, my gosh.
Scotty popped in. Scotty, we bring you back.
Well. Not
I
a
told-
minute.
Yeah.
Not
See
a
this-
minute too soon.
See,
Mincher.
Scotty,
hold
this
on
one-
a minute.
This one was
Anthony,
on me. This one was on me. And I was going to tell DJ this after the show, but it was on me. Totally.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't know if we wanted to push it past 1. I was like, uh-oh, Scotty, we got another runner on in the last minute. So I pushed Scotty. But Scotty's on now.
You said no
Yeah.
show this week, so. But then I get DJ saying, "Where is Scotty?"
I just wanted to set you up for failure, Scotty. I was trying to hose you down.
You were trying to what?
Yeah, I was just going to ask the same question. You were going to do what?
Throw you under the bus a little bit.
There it is. All right, that's better. That's better. He said something about hosing you down, Scotty. I don't know what's going on right now on this Wednesday.
Yeah, I am very sorry. This is.
Oh,
I'm
apparently
all
it's
over
not
the
your
It's
fault.
not your fault at all.
My hair
It's Hartwig's
is
fault.
an absolute mess.
No, it looks great. You look like a rock star, Scotty.
Well, thanks, but
This is an
DJ,
absolute cluster. What do you want, Mincher?
I want can I buy a copy of your book and will you sign it for me?
Yes, you could have texted me this. You don't have to talk about it on the show. You don't have to buy one. I'll get you a copy of Never Benched, not a doubt.
I will buy it.
Not worried about it. Not worried
Okay.
about it. It's not why I wrote a book.
I know.
I
But-
think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll enjoy it.
I've been waiting because you haven't been on with us in a while. I've been wanting to get a copy.
Come on down. I got one right here. It's right there. It's waiting for you.
Waiting for you.
Boom.
Sweet.
It's right there. Special thanks because we were getting to our spark today, Anthony, before you deleted Scotty off the show and then tried to throw him under the bus like we're waiting for him. Very wise, my friend. Very wise. Anthony, he's turning heel on us right now. Wow.
Yeah, I'm like,
You never knew.
well, wait a minute. Like, this is like this can't happen.
This can't
Well, I
happen.
had
Yes,
to
sir. My fiendish plan.
Anthony was
I'm
gonna
done.
watch you get absolutely chastised publicly, and then the second we go off the air, he goes, "Hey, actually, that wasn't Scotty's fault. That was my bad."
Yeah,
He's in here
I'm
just
like- I'm like,
burying you, Scotty. He's in there just putting dirt on his shovel and just right into that grave.
yeah, you're like, where's Scotty? He sent me all his time.
Here's my impression of Anthony when I'm asking about where Scotty is. I don't know. I don't know where Scotty is. Oh,
Oh,
what
my
an
gosh.
idiot! What an idiot! He can't even come on
Never
the
said
show
that.
on time.
Never said that.
He's like Scooby Doo, row, Raggy.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
That is low ball right there. That is low brow by Anthony Hartwig. Tisk, tisk, tisk. And he was going to jump off the air and be like, "Yeah, I canceled Scotty. Don't worry about it." I'm sitting here in genuine concern about my friend. Genuine wellness
I just
check
didn't want to
because
be
of
like,
every.
hey, on the air, like, hey, by the way, I canceled Scotty. I didn't tell you, but I'm sorry.
Hey,
You know?
let's get down to the bottom of this. Anthony's had a bad day today. A bad day. We got no graphics for today's show.
Yeah, we do.
Then,
Absolutely.
oh, you did it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, then, hey, you're back. You're back. But
Got the graphics.
then,
up. There's one thing.
then halfway through the show, he goes, "Hey, FYI, Ava Hewlett's coming on the show. Sorry, my bad." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But then on top of that, he goes, "Because you're usually not here." So he like did the old, "Hey, my bad, but
No,
not
I
really
did-
because you're usually not here." That's okay. Hey, that's okay. Hey, you're right. I'm usually not here because we don't like more than 3 boxes on this show, typically.
Right. So I just misunderstood what the plan was for today,
That's okay.
which is my bad.
But then
For-
here comes the big
for a
one. He goes, I don't know where Scotty is. No idea. TikTok, Scotty. I'm here. I'm sitting here like my man texted me what we're talking about, and he ain't here. Like I was gonna
See, I didn't know Scotty texted you because he only texted me.
I was
text
gonna
us
send
both
out
together in a
the
group
search party, aka
So I was
Radar
like-
Pavlov, to go find Scotty.
So I was like, if I surprise DJ with 2 guests today, he doesn't know that Scotty's coming on either. I'm cooked after the show.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was like, oh, Scotty, I don't know, man. I don't know if DJ knows you're coming on. So
Anthony says
I'm
you're
thinking to myself, like, I'm gonna be cooked. And now I am I am so cooked.
chopping block.
Well, from
Shopping.
now on, know that I will. When I text you, I'm gonna text
Just
both
make it a
of
group
you
chat, buddy.
guys.
So we both know that you're coming on. So we both know
Scotty
that
doesn't believe.
know.
Scotty hates group chats more
Scotty
than I
hates
do,
group
and that is
chats.
a deep hate of group chats.
Yeah, group chats, not my thing.
I
Get
will
the
tell you
text
that,
message from an email address for Scotty.
dude, if there's one thing that I hate in this world, it is group chats. I despise
they're
them.
the worst.
Because it only takes that one person, right, at either really early or really late, and you're just like, why, or the person that doesn't read them and then just asks the same question that was already asked earlier, or it brings up something that was or a topic that was so like, I don't want to be part of this conversation because this is way off the rails, and they bring it back like it's well over, and they bring. Group chats have never been a good thing for DJ Yokley. Just never have been a good thing because I have that little off kilter sense of humor that like is borderline offensive, but it never translates in sarcasm never translates in a group chat. And I always like, okay, I've had enough. Boom, there it is.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you just blow the whole thing up, like put a.
Usually I'm the guy that, and my wife kind of looks at me whenever I send it, and she gives me the courtesy laugh. But I think deep down she's like, "Oh boy, here we go."
Oh, boy.
Like, what did he just lit the fire? He just reignited, and it's not like a fire. It's like it's a flamethrower. Is what I just. So hey, group chats, I hate you. I hate you. But
Yeah.
Anthony, yes, you're cooked.
Yeah, I'm cooked.
They're very
cooked.
bad.
Like,
All right, Scotty, we're going to abbreviate what you were going to talk about today. First off, we can save that. We've kind of already talked about it. But here's what I want to talk about. I'm going to flip the script on you.
Okay.
How are you? Number one. You doing all right?
I am doing well. Yes.
How's therapy been treating you? Good?
Therapy is going well. And I also wanted to apologize to you, DJ, because I have numerous friends that were supposed to help me out with the ice bucket challenge, me and Radar. And
You dodged us.
They left me high and dry.
Well, you know what that means. You owe some money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to get it done, but it's now.
Oh no! Now you got to wait all the way until it's freezing cold. Then you got to do the ice bucket challenge outside.
Okay, that's fair.
Hypothermia challenge.
Hypothermia challenge.
So you want me to wait till it's winter again?
You might as well, pal. You're about 6 weeks away from it.
Fair enough. But
You don't have to apologize for that. I just wanted to see, honestly, like I wanted to see Radar do it because I thought that would be the greatest ice bucket challenge of all time. But Anthony 100% one-upped it.
Anthony's was great. Yes.
You didn't get the unedited version, did you?
No, I didn't
No.
send Scotty the full version. DJ
Talk
talked me
amongst
into sending him.
yourselves. I will
DJ
get
talked
that.
me into sending him the full version, Scotty.
He talked
I mean,
to it.
You saw I fell off the bench totally, but it got worse. It got a lot worse.
It was the greatest. And I say that because I know you're okay. Like if you would have actually been hurt, I would have been very concerned and very sad at the same time. But knowing that you were okay, Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah.
I'm here to do the USC Ice Bucket Challenge to raise awareness for mental health. I was nominated by DJ Yoakley. Thanks a lot, buddy. And I am going to nominate the entire Georgia Tech softball coaching staff. I'm going to nominate Nick Blanche and Ty Bartell. You're not escaping this, buddy. So you guys have 24 hours. You know the deal. Get it done, and let's go. The bucket gets stuck. That is so cool. Ooh. I'm going. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Oh, man.
It's the asshole. The bucket gets stuck in his head. And he cut it. He trimmed it.
That was like, I'm not sure what that was in the world.
The best was when it just stuck on his head, dude. Like, and he tried so hard. Anthony tried. Oh, he tried so incredibly hard. Not that you can ever look cool when you're doing one of those, but like to trim it so it just didn't look like a complete goon. And when that bucket just sticks to his head, and it's cold in a bathtub, by the way, dude. And I'm guessing you were doing that all yourself, right?
Yep.
Nobody there.
Nobody was there at all. It was me, myself, and I.
So yeah, you're up, Mincher. You're up.
I'm up.
The clock's been ticking since I don't know, April 20th.
A quick thing before you get to, because you said you were gonna flip the script on me, but in all seriousness, would you rather me wait till winter now, or
you're not doing, Scotty? You'll die. You're not gonna do it in winter when it's 10 degrees out.
I think I'd survive. Well, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
That's what I needed. I need a lawsuit from your parents for claiming that I was the
coerced him into doing
yeah.
this hypothermia challenge.
That's all we need is the OJ case on YSN. I mean, I used to tell you when we would leave, when you would go out and leave the old headquarters, I used to tell you if someone came in, I was just going kamikaze on them.
You did. You were one hell of a guard dog back on the old what was it, Taggart Street?
Yeah, Taggart.
Palestine. All right, let's get to because I seriously do have a meeting coming up at 2:00, so I've got about 5 minutes before I have to get ready for that. So, for your perspective, Scotty,
yes,
obviously the NFL just started with the mandatory mini camps. There's a lot to do about the Browns. You look at the Guardians, seemingly having another good year, which potentially could be a late push towards the playoffs. What has you more excited of those two particular franchises at the moment?
I think right now, because the Guardians, as of late, have gone through a really rough stretch here, I would still, it's close. I think right now I still have to give the Guardians a slight edge over the Browns, because I do like the Browns off season, and I think they did make some good moves, but coming off a 3-13 year, it's hard to be super optimistic, and I think the Guardians, even though they're struggling right now, they did make it to to the ALCS last year with a lot of the same players. So I think I'm a little more hopeful with the Guardians. The Browns, it's like I always have hope, and this is the big year for me because it's the last year of my 5-year prediction. So this is it for me. The time is now, Browns.
You go ahead and get Super Dave on the phone while you're at it, and let him know that there's $100 coming from him, and I haven't forgot about it. And I'll go ahead and call Dan. I'll call Danny Bertolini as well because he's the one that started this whole thing.
I remember that he concurred with me about my prediction back in, I think that had to be 21 now, 2021.
Yep. And don't you worry. Don't you worry. The Undertaker's going to be collecting real soon. Real soon.
Yeah.
You hear that knock on your door, it's either death or dollars. You choose.
I heard you talking earlier. Your Pirates, they played a little better of late.
Hey, we're cooking, baby. Pirates are cooking. Donnie Kelly, the Pirates manager, he's a real yinzer, and he understands what it's going to take them Pirates over the top. We're ready. Paul Skeens and the whole crew. Swinging a hot bat, swinging a hot stick, pitching them fastballs. Them Hundo boys, they're coming. We got Bubba Chandler coming up too.
You're also fully aboard the Aaron Rodgers train.
Choo choo, baby. Choo choo. The old 8 Express.
I think on paper that if you look at it, if Rodgers could get to anywhere close where he was at that MVP level, I think the Steelers' supporting cast surrounding him is great. And it all comes down to can Rodgers kind of recapture what he had with Green Bay. I think he had an okay season last year, but the Jets were also a dumpster fire. So
listen, I'm telling you one thing. If we can get one more solid receiver in Pittsburgh, they're dangerous. They are dangerous because we've got untapped. Think about the Steelers. If you've watched any Steelers football, and Sam Torres, I know he's out there rolling his eyes because here we are talking about the Steelers again. If you look at a chart of where the Steelers passed the ball in the last 3 years, the entire middle of the field is wide open. Just no dots on it at all. It's one side or the other. Use a couple tight ends. You got Pat Freiermuth. You got Darnell Washington. A couple of dogs. You got some decent. I mean, DK Metcalf is a pretty good receiver, as I understand it. Pretty physical guy. And then you've got Roman Wilson, who didn't even. I think he suited up one game last year. One of the top receivers from Michigan 2 years ago from that national championship team. We got Cedi Austin, right? Yeah. He didn't leave yet. Yeah, we still got him. One more year, I think. I mean, he's one of the faster receivers in the NFL. Hey, we're going to have some fun this year. And either it is going to be one of the most enchanting rides that Steelers fans have been on since 2017, or one of the biggest dumpster fires that we've ever seen in Pittsburgh history. And that includes the Pirates. So here we go. Here we go.
Buckle up.
Those are the only
Here we
two
go. I will tell you that I will be more so than usual, be very engaged in the Pat McAfee show on Tuesdays. Very engaged. Because that is usually the draw up on one Aaron Rodgers.
What do you I heard from a lot of people and a lot of Steelers fans that them trading Pickens, that was a Tomlin move. Were you surprised at all? Because I know he'd been he's a guy that has a lot of talent, but he did a lot of talking. Were you surprised at all that they moved him?
No. No. I don't think that he's necessarily the fit that the Steelers were looking for. I think they just like any team, they feel like they can fix anybody that walks through those doors. There's no fix in George Pickens. There's like you said, immense talent. He is a lunatic. He's nuts. He's got something wrong with him. Like there's a wire crossed or two upstairs. Because I mean, you remember that Browns game in the snow? He was fighting a dude all the way down the field instead of trying to catch that football in the end zone. Like fighting a guy. That doesn't help your team. And being the best receiver, I think he's top 5 in the league. If he's on, he's easily top 5 in the league. And the fact that the Steelers said, hey, Cowboys, here you go, and got a bucket of balls in return. Good luck, Jerry Jones. Good luck, pal. New coach, same old crap down in Texas. So good luck. And I know that hasn't happened yet. Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland, everybody's bowing down to him as that 5th-round pick and, you know, the future of the franchise. And everybody's saying Joe Flacco is going to be the guy and then Shedeur is going to take over. Scotty, I don't know, man. I still don't know. He's on his best behavior right now, but when that heat gets cranked up in August, September, October, that locker room has a way of dividing itself in Cleveland, especially with the guy wearing number 95, who, for all intents and purposes, threw everybody in Cleveland, including his teammates, under the bus until they backed up that Brinks truck. So, hey, you know what I say? Good luck. Good luck. Could be a real dumpster fire in the AFC North. This might be the year that they should be recording in the AFC North.
Yeah, and I mean, you maybe not to the where it got to Myles Garrett's level, but TJ Watt, you know, there's some interesting things going on with that too. So
yeah, he didn't show up for mandatory minicamp. I imagine that, you know, they're trying to get a deal done, which, I mean, I don't know if that makes $40 million of sense, but, you know, maybe they get a hometown discount. I think they can still do it. Just, do you sign a TJ Watt at this level and, you know, at this age to a $40 million deal a year, or do you trade him? There's a lot of Steelers fans that are on the fence because it's the last thing you want to do is trade your franchise player. But at the same token, you know, like, what do you get in return? 1st-round draft pick, a couple of 1st-round draft picks. What does he fetch? We talked about Myles a couple months ago. I thought he fetched a 1st-rounder or a couple 1st-rounders. I don't think TJ is too far off if we're being honest. So, I don't know. That's NFL talk, and we're sitting here in June. So, got a lot of time to talk about it, and certainly a lot of summer left on the bone. That doesn't make any sense at all. A lot of meat left on the bone in summer, I guess is a better way to put it. So let's get to our Sparks, brought to you by Joe Dickey Electric. We already introduced them before Scotty, so graciously popped on this show finally. Anthony. It's time for the Joe Dickey Electric. What's Your Spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electric, and they are on the web 24/7, 365 at DickeyElectric.com. All right, the late, great Scotty Mincher. What is your spark?
My spark today, I guess it's just an easy one. Usually it's me acting a fool, and you know I have to kind of try to walk back what I say sometimes, or you know I have to come back a week later and just keep it politically correct or whatever. But today is, usually Anthony's help carrying me, but today, man, that was not cool. So it's an easy one, man. Anthony, you're on the crap list just for today.
I deserve it. It's good. I'll take it. Crap on me.
Whoa, whoa!
Not that way. Just put me on the crap list. Whatever you want to do. I deserve it.
Oh gosh, you just said crap on me.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what weird stuff you're into, Ant, but we're not doing that on this show. Not doing that. All right, Ant, you're up.
Can this show just be over at this point?
It could have been. It could have been a long time ago. If the truth would have come out, this show could have been over a long time ago. But no, that's why they say the truth shall set you free.
The truth shall set you free. Oh man, geez, my spark today. My brain is sludged at this point, and I'm coughing. Oh,
your brain is crap at this point.
Yeah,
would you
exactly? Geez, I don't know. I was going to use the movie tickets, but now it seems kind of weird. I went to a movie over the weekend, and I have a collection of like every movie stub that I've ever kind of went to. It's one of the things I collect. So when you go to a movie, they give you the stub, the ticket stub. I keep those. Now I'm kind of disappointed because now they don't even give you a ticket stub. It's just like a really thin square printout of your receipt. And I'm like, I can't collect those. So I'm kind of bummed because my collection, I'm gonna have to find new ways to collect movie tickets.
Can I guess what you saw over the weekend?
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch.
Exactly.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it. I was gonna say Mission Impossible, then I was like, no. Lilo and Stitch. That's more Anthony's speed. Was it as good as the first one?
It was good. It was really good. Disney remakes are hit and miss. I thought this one was pretty dang good.
Well, I can appreciate that, Ant. That was one of your shortest yet most insightful movie reviews that you've ever done here on this show. So thank you very much. 2 thumbs up from Anthony.
2 thumbs up. 2
shovels up from Anthony Hartwig. My 2 buckets up from Anthony
2
Hartwig.
buckets up on the head.
My spark is just going to be that what great coverage, Anthony, you and Sipe had all this year as you're dying in your chair right now. Blink twice if you need help. Track and field is hard to cover. We can't do live broadcast for it just because we usually have 1 camera setups. It's impossible. You'll get sick, and we'll hear about it. And certainly we don't want to do it and do it wrong and make sure we do it justice. And you, Anthony, and Coach Sipe the entire year from pillar to post did an unbelievable job of covering track and field. We want to thank all the guests that came in for, running days and field days with Coach Sipe because, we want to cover it. It's with the technology, it's nearly impossible. So we give them the time to talk about it. And here's the reality is some of these, they're 10 seconds long from a standpoint of the events. You know what I mean? When you're talking about the 100, they're 10 seconds long. So it's hard to really encapsulate 10 seconds for content purposes. So we give them 10 minutes, 15 minutes to talk about, what led to those 10 seconds. And you've done an incredible job. So has Sipe. So has everybody that's been on this year. So, hey, kudos to you. Another great season, track and field, and running and fielding with Coach Sipe. And Scotty, way to be on time today. Within reason. Way to be on time. I was giving you a hard time. And really, it should be the dude in blue. The dude in blue should be catching all the flack.
All the arrows pointed right at
all the buckets. All the buckets. So that's going to do it for our show today. As always, we want to thank our sponsors, our friends at Greenwood Chevrolet and Toyota of Warren. for always allowing us to live this absolutely filthy, stupid, weird, crazy life that we do every single day, covering the areas and region's best athletes. It's going to be a long summer, so we need your help. If you want to be on the YSN Live podcast during our show on Monday through Friday, typically noon to whenever, like today, it's 1:41. We're still trolling. We're still trolling here on this Wednesday. Please send us a message. We love to have you on. There's going to be a lot of Class B coming up, and we want to interview you. If you're a travel athlete, you're on a particular different travel team. We don't necessarily have to have a relationship with the travel team. We just want to talk to you and see how your summer's going and build some content for this summer, because it can get real slow and real lonely this summer. And the last thing you want is Scotty, Anthony, and myself talking about NFL football in June. Right, Scotty?
That's right.
That's right, baby. All right. For Scotty, for Anthony, for Coach Sipe, for Drew and Juliana, and for Ava, this has been YSN Live for the 11th of June, 2025, and we will see you next time right here on YSN Live. Anthony, may the sports be with you, pal.
And you, my friend.
And Scotty, you too.
And you as well.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.